Hop Stupid Ale. And its slogan is 102 IBU for you. So this is going to be a bitter little bitch.
Dude.
8% by volume. It's going to be a sipper. Yep. Well, this podcast will be 20 minutes.
Yeah. We went to Old Cap Tavern the other day for supper.
Yeah.
And
$50 later. How was it?
It was $50. But they have this new thing where if they have a keg changing,
Yeah.
they put a sign on the tapper and then it goes on their special board. And what they call it is a blowout sale. If you get the last glass, you get a $25 gift card.
That's a legit promotion.
So it was kind of funny. When I was there, I got one of them that was on it, and both pours, because I had two of them.
Yeah.
And both pours, it was funny. I went, oh! And the bartender was actually pretty cool. He actually goes, I tried, man.
But I did it.
Yeah, he actually did. He gave me 2 little more taps on it.
That's funny. At least he was trying.
Yeah, I mean, he was a cool bartender. He was the weirdest part about it was he was a fat guy in a striped shirt, a vest, and a red polka dot bow tie.
Ugh.
And then he had like his hair slicked back like this, so it was really. And then a big red beard.
Nice.
And I was just like, wow,
hipster.
you are mixing so many genres right now.
Well, you know, he's just pure hipster.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, he works at Old Capitol Tav.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Well, this beer just smells hoppy as shit. Just 102 IBUs. That's gonna be let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. Oh, that tastes like one of Joel's like homebrews where he just tries to do like a hop profile and just murder you with the taste of hops. Holy Toledo, that is refreshing though. What kind of hops they use in that?
Did you just say holy Toledo?
I did, and it felt right. And I will not take it back.
I'll say it again. Huzzah!
That's crazy. It says on the bottle, it says, clean this mess up or else you'll all end up in jail. Those test tubes and the scale. Just get them all out of here. He was referring to the complex supercritical CO2 hop extraction equipment set up on the table in the lab across from the brew house. Hop extracts are for the big brewers, he thought, suitable only for crummy substandard and barely passable industrial lagers, not the subtle and elegant craft beer made here. But he was wrong. The new brewer does not eschew any possible inputs. In this case, the extract will replace the mountains of hop, vegetative material in the kettle, thus creating cleaner hop flavors and preventing the otherwise spinach-like mess of a kettle full of super-hopped wort from clogging up a pump or worse. The sensuous honey-like amber ooze was administered intravenously to the wort kettle, and the sacrament was complete. Another kettle of Hop Stupid is once again raised up and fermented on high. That is an elegant fucking description for a brew.
Yeah, I think they put more time in the actual writing of that than they did in brewing the brew.
What's your rating on it? I'll give you 5. 5 bottle caps.
I'm gonna go 2.5.
2.5 bottle caps.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a strong 4.
Really?
I'd like it. It's fucking bold.
See, I like a lot of hoppy beers, but like you were saying, it kind of tastes like on this one that they're just trying to slap you in the face with a hop.
I mean, the name kind of says it, and Hop Stupid, but I figured as much.
We didn't put much time into this. We just threw hops in there.
But I suppose after drinking all of the shit Joel dumps on me with just hoppy, the stuff he brews or the stuff he drinks, I'm like, this is all right. This is all right. I enjoy it.
Well, I'm not saying it has bad taste. It's just one of 1,000 beers that's what they do.
Oh, yeah.
They just throw hops in your face and go, hey, it's beer.
For being 8%, it doesn't taste as boozy as I thought it would. Or do you get a lot of boozy in it? I'm already, almost done with mine, and you're just sipping on yours. I'm gonna get shidied.
He says while sitting in front of a keg. With a bomber bottle right next to him and a keg behind him and a pitcher across the way.
Yep. If you don't, you just failed at life.
Exactly.
How couldn't you?
All the ways and means have been put forth. If you can't find your way home, no one can get you there.
Yeah, I had to go to the Bird for the first half of the Vikings game to get free food and a pitcher of Oktoberfest. That's actually legit. Now, do you have weekends off now?
Yeah.
That's legit. Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, you always had Saturdays off, but having a Sunday off now will be sweet. I mean, it's worth it to go down to the Bird.
Until I can't watch the first Friday Wild game. Then I'll be cursing the shit out of it. The cool part about it, though, is we'll just have it on the radio, so...
Yeah,
hockey sucks on the radio.
It does. It's not nearly as good.
Not unless you have an awesome caster.
Yeah.
But those are few and far between that can actually give you a picture of how... It's just way too fast. They can't describe it fast enough, especially with those fucking names.
Yeah, you take...
And two other people just touched the puck.
Yeah, for the time it takes
Yep.
you say one of their fucking names.
Like, none of them are Smith. Well, kind of, I gotta take that back. There's like 20 Smiths. But it's spelled S-M-Y-T-H.
Yeah, E. And it's not Smythe, as you might think.
No.
One of the things that pissed me off about the Janet Jackson boob gate or whatever she had in the Super Bowl was that they put all the NFL on like a 5-second delay.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things to do when I used to like watching the Vikings when I was younger was I would listen to the radio broadcast and watch the television. So you didn't have to listen to the fucking idiot announcers that they'd have on, the network TV doing it. Mm-hmm. So you'd actually have, and it'd be more descriptive, and it was a more enjoyable experience. But then they just ruined it with that nipple. I don't know. That's a very weird thing that ruined. Most people would say it ruined censorship, or not ruined it, but made it more prevalent in most live sports as well as.
No, I think that's bullshit.
What that's
the censorship.
Well, to be honest, I've made this argument plenty of times, but I'm going to make it again. There cannot be like censorship or political correctness or anything of the like because that stuff offends me. So by them doing it, they're doing the exact same thing that they're trying to prevent. They don't want to be offensive, so they're being politically correct, or they're censoring something. But to me, I find that offensive, so then their whole argument and basis for existing falls apart.
I still don't understand how you can be censored at all when you have a right to free speech.
Yeah.
That in its own is such an oxymoron, my brain can't comprehend it. That's literally like saying, well, this is a crosswalk, but you can't get to the other side here.
Exactly.
What? Wait. So I have free speech as long as it's something that you deem that I can say. What?
Yeah, and that completely contradicts the whole reason to have the right of free speech.
Yes.
Is because it's easy as fuck to protect speech everybody likes.
Yeah.
It's when it gets to the nitty-gritty and you gotta protect somebody's speech that nobody wants to fucking hear.
Yeah.
But he is still, or she is still, a member of our society and has just as much opinion to weigh in on any subject as anybody else does.
Well, the fun part about it, though, is you won't see anybody actually fighting the opposite fight because the only people that you see fighting for it are the religious extremes.
Yeah.
The ones that, well, Jesus wouldn't like that. Are you fucking kidding me? He was more of a liberal than anybody that you'd ever know, especially from the book that you said.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He was hanging out with lepers and whores?
Exactly. And if you want to make it comparable to current times, Jesus would be like Ron Paul saying, end the Federal Reserve, kick the money changers out of the temple.
You know what else? He was hung like this.
I
had to do it.
Too bad it's a joke that doesn't work in this meeting.
Oh, everybody knows what I just did. Oh, speaking of Jesus,
Nice segue.
there's a little tidbit that I thought was kind of funny in the news today that nobody in America covered. Basically,
Yeah.
Got it off the BBC. Bin Laden's son-in-law jailed for life.
In America?
Yes.
For doing what?
Osama bin Laden's son-in-law, who was an Al-Qaeda spokesman after 9/11, has been sentenced to life in prison for terrorism-related charges at a trial in New York.
Shit.
So it was in the United States, and none of the media actually picked this up. But he was basically what it was is the judge. Here's his quote. It was his assessment, or it is my assessment, that you are committed to doing everything you can to carry out Al-Qaeda's agenda to kill Americans.
But I thought we were just arming them now and doing air raids to help Al-Qaeda.
Not Osama's son-in-law.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
but no.
But the funny part about it, though, is he had the dumbest excuse I've ever heard in my life to say that he wasn't doing a jihad or anything like that. What does he say? He argued, "This is my role," or that this is my role, a purely religious one. I was only aimed at encouraging all Muslims to rise up against their oppressors.
What?
So you actually pled not guilty, and then in your statement you were like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, I did it. But
Not guilty of it.
I just did it because it was the cool thing, man."
I'm a spokesperson.
Hey, they just got that over there.
Haven't you ever heard of "Don't kill the messenger"? Did I not tell you I'm a spokesperson?
That's what
I don't believe these things. I just
what I thought
tell
was funny.
others about
Yep.
what the people behind me believe.
Did you arrest Dan Rathers? No.
Yeah.
What I
Well, they
mean?
got him kicked off the air for saying
Yeah, exactly.
9/11 looked like a fucking controlled demolition, but hey.
Yeah. I just thought that was hilarious, though, that he gets sentenced to life in prison. Nobody covers it. And nobody talks about it in the U.S.
That reminds me of, they just caught those 3 Afghan soldiers that went AWOL in Massachusetts, and nobody gave a fuck. They're sitting there in the newscast pumping down my throat that ISIS needs to be attacked because they're the worst scourge and they probably have sleeper cells in this country. And then
I've actually heard a Republican say it again. We've got to fight them over there so they don't come over here.
And then the next story, after you're trying to pump ISIS down my throat, saying they're fucking gonna attack me at home, the next thing on the news is, 3 Afghan soldiers are AWOL, but no public threat. Nothing to worry about.
I love that. They actually put that out. The public is not in danger.
It's like, do you remember General Green? Wasn't he just shot by a top-ranked Afghanistan, army, like, general or colonel or some shit? So, okay, so you're telling me there's nothing to worry about. These Afghani soldiers are so well vetted. Then,
well, what about the fucking general in Afghanistan that got assassinated?
That's what I'm talking about.
No, yes, this new one too. But I was going to say that the general that got assassinated when the dude brought in that bomb vest underneath his uniform.
Yeah, the highest ranking.
Yeah,
that's what I was talking about. Green, General Green.
No. Before there was that dude that took out like 4 CIA guys, and don't you remember that? That was actually when the Afghan war was going, though, and it was one of the Afghan troops that we were training. Came in there with a bomb under his vest, and he killed like 4 CIA guys, and then a guy that they were coming in to interrogate. So his whole thing was to kill the interrogators, and then, kill the other guys so they couldn't give information. So he fucking killed, like, one of their generals, fucking 4 CIA spooks, a goddamn captive that we had, and then he injured a shitload of people. It's just, how the fuck are we even having people like that come over here? Isn't that the hilarious part of it? You can make a statement like, well, we're going to fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you have no idea who you're fighting with if that keeps on happening. And then you're just allowing them to come over here when you're not sure on it. And this just proves it, that those motherfuckers did not do what they said they were going to do.
Exactly. And who knows if the people they claim to have caught are even the ones that they let go.
Yeah. How about this? Maybe they weren't the ones that had anything to do with actually building an explosive or anything like that, but they were the ones that had the task of giving a message.
Yep.
You know, something like that.
Exactly, because it was a 9/11, no less. They were allowed to go to a mall at Cape Cod and then just let to disappear.
Yeah.
And they didn't cause...
All right, guys, meet you back here at 5.
Right there, what that tells me is all this war on terror shit is propaganda. Because
it's just being made up.
Why didn't they mention the same thing that you just read off about Bin Laden's kid? Wouldn't that feed the war machine and the 10 minutes of hate you need for the Bin Ladens to get you all pumped up?
But they don't want to do that because they don't want anybody to actually look at the evidence and anything like that.
Exactly.
They're just basically doing that because he was a mouthpiece. He was known.
And look how you just have to look at the stuff that they downplay, like the 3 Afghan soldiers, the Bin Laden's kid being arrested. It doesn't fit into the narrative they're trying to push at the moment. So right there, it's glaringly obvious that this is a narrative. This isn't reality.
They don't want to show that we're winning anything or that we taking care of anything. They want to show some fear out there, like we need to do something now.
Well, George Orwell said it best: the war isn't meant to be won or lost.
No,
it's meant to keep going and keep the powers that be in power.
Yeah.
And the status quo and the machine just running. Meat grinder.
Bill Maher on his last show, actually, I can't remember the statistics that they were talking about, or that he's had. I just know that high 50s percentage of people were saying that they had an extremely negative view of how the Republicans are handling everything right now in office.
Yeah.
And the same people that were interviewed for that also answered in low 60s that they would actually like to see a Republican run House again. So think of it this way. That's how effective the stupidity of the don't let anything get done technique is that the American public has now said, well, God, at least if we give the assholes what they want,
maybe they'll leave us alone.
Yeah.
It's basically we've been held hostage.
Well, I'm just going to point a different question to you. Is that not terrorism?
By definition.
Because in the same sense of what I just said, they literally held up our governing body, intentionally did absolutely nothing to intervene, to help, to do anything like that. So they intentionally hurt the economy, the well-being of just everybody,
and spread fear and terror.
And they also wanted to get rid of healthcare. It just comes down to the whole aspect of nothing about this entire time has been any kind of a positive to the American people. Ooh. And then their whole plan was bottle it up until they get fed up enough to give it to us. That's a fucking playground bully.
Well, that's why you need a fucking viable third party.
Yeah, you do. I have no idea how independent party can't get on the tickets. It's absolutely insane to me that you can run for president of the United States and be left off ballots in states.
Yeah. And you know what's sad is in Minnesota, the Independence Party is close to losing its major party status.
Yeah.
We need to at least get them 10% of the vote next time around, or they lose major party status in our state. And I don't know, Bob's running under them. That's the only reason I know. Bob Helen, he's just running under that. Vote for him if you're in Minnesota. Secretary of State, Bob Helen. Get her done. It's probably not his slogan, and that sounded redneck, but I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. Bold move, my friend.
I know your camouflage headband just kind of got me right in the pineal gland with that one.
It's a bandana, asshole.
It's a headband. What's the difference?
Accessorize. It's a neckerchief.
Neckerchief. So, did you hear about those two people that jumped over the White House fence?
Yeah.
Do you think that's copycat? Like, because why would it happen? Two people in 24 hours doing it.
Because they could.
Because they could, but one guy ran all the way up and got inside. And then they're like, he had a knife. He had a fucking pocket knife.
Yeah. Well, and they also, one story that I thought was hilarious is they were saying he had 800 rounds of ammunition.
And a machete and a hatchet.
Yeah, and if you read about it, it was in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, so...
He was in the house, and his car was at least 300 yards away.
If not more, because there's no way you could even park anywhere close to that fucking place.
But in his car, he had 800 rounds of ammunition and no gun.
Yeah. And my favorite part was he got harassed by the Capitol Police and the Secret Service a few weeks earlier because he was walking around the gate, the fence of the White House with a hatchet in his belt. And then another guy goes...
so fucking crazy.
You know what? Of course, this always happens. My delusional, paranoid mind goes to, you know what? These might be Manchurian candidates. What they're trying to do is they're like getting these schizo nut jobs because it came out that they're all on SSRI inhibitors and all that shit. Your fucking mind-altering drugs. And so I think that it was a deliberate plan to have these people breach security like that in the White House so then they can set up unconstitutional checkpoints with like a block around the White House. So now everybody that drives even close to it has to go through a checkpoint. And then pretty soon it's going to be nobody can do it within a mile of the White House. And then it's going to be nobody can do it within Washington, D.C. There's going to be a checkpoint. And then it's just going to become walled off because the criminals...
What are they going to do with all those black people? Nobody in Washington, D.C.?
FEMA camps.
Yeah.
Ship them out.
Well, I think that's kind of funny. Anytime you ever see in Washington,
well, I'm just saying you're going to have to go through
you never
checkpoints.
See black people.
Well,
you know when
not in the touristy areas.
And nobody sets up a camera any place else. They're like, nah, man, you get shot if you go down there.
Well, why do you think you only see 4 fucking images of Washington on everything?
That is funny.
Because the rest is just a blackout.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, but that's what I personally think is it just kind of is a weird thing that 2 people did it, and then now they're coming out and saying, well, I don't think snipers and the fence are enough. I think we're going to have to put up checkpoints on the roads. And to me, that just screams of the criminals have taken over, because this only happens in a criminally controlled country. Because if you're not a criminal, why do you need checkpoints? Just like they say to us, well, if you're not a criminal, let us look at all your shit.
Yep.
Same thing goes for them. Why do you need protection if you're not doing something nefarious? If you're doing stuff for the good of the people should love you.
Yeah.
You should be able to walk down the street. They should be able to walk into your home. Unfortunately, with the size of a population we have in this country,
there's always going to be a crazy.
And the sad thing is,
that's what the Secret Service is.
Yeah, there's always a crazy, and with this population we have exponentially more crazies because just statistics. You have to have a percentage.
Have you ever seen Oklahoma, though?
Exactly. And the sad thing is most of these presidents come from the most fucked up...
I was talking about the state, not the play.
No, neither. I've seen...
That'll make somebody want to just walk up to the White House just to get some kind of other form of attention.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know, but that, to me, I was just like, what's going on here? And then they murdered that chick, a year ago, not even... where she was all mentally nuts and she ran into one of those checkpoints.
Hopped up on Quaaludes.
Yeah, she was just mentally unstable. And she had her kid in the car, and she ran upon this military checkpoint where she fucking all of a sudden had a flashback like she's in Fallujah.
Yeah.
Because the goddamn police running the checkpoint are fucking soldiers that were in Fallujah.
Yeah.
Getting trained to treat us exactly how they treat the Iraqis and the goddamn Afghanis. It's a sad state of affairs in this country, son.
Yeah.
I don't know, that just kind of...
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think something's happening in about 2-3 generations.
As in terrible or amazing?
I'm saying as in protests will no longer be just people marching. If you look at it, I mean, in anything in history...
Yeah.
People only peacefully protest for so long.
This is true.
How long have they been protesting? Since the 60s.
And how much more aggressive have the authorities become to combat such protests?
You've got people peacefully sitting on the ground and a dude coming up and spraying each one of them in the face. with a giant can of mace that's meant to be sprayed at somebody about 20 feet away.
Yeah.
And he's doing it a foot away right in their eyes. I mean, we've all seen those tapes.
Oh, exactly.
You start having that kind of shit, and now the whole surplus bullshit.
Yeah,
where they're going to have tanks rolling down the streets for police departments.
Yeah, if that happens in St. Cloud, we need to make an active goddamn opposition.
They do already have a
like MRAB or whatever.
Yeah, they have a rover. They actually have a SWAT rover.
Oh shit, we need to start writing our city councilman. I'm gonna get on the horn. I can't. I don't live in St. Cloud. Fuck.
They talk about how they go to all the surrounding areas with it as well, and it's good for the crime prevention, like major drug busts and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be using a SWAT team to enforce drug warrants.
No.
They're non-violent drug offenders. And who brings the fucking drugs in here anyway? The same government that's busting down their doors with military equipment. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just boggles the mind.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is. I don't understand it myself on how it's gone this far.
Dude, 'cause I don't know. All I'm going to say is it boils down to that old saying. First, it's, the soapbox, the ballot box, the jury box, and the ammo box.
Yep.
That's how it goes. And I think we're at about the jury box.
Yeah, because people are, well, at least Obama's first term, people came out in droves just to say, I want something different.
Yeah, and they were sold a whole crock of shit like nobody's fucking business.
That's why the last one didn't have very many voters at all, because they got that new generation of voters, and they just went, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It's just a black version of the dipshit. He just talks better.
That is true, but if he loses his teleprompter, he's a mumbling idiot just like the first one. Or the one before him. Yeah.
That's why he draws everything out so much. I hate the way he talks. I really do. He's almost as annoying as the person who always acts like they're asking a question, and you never quite know if they're trying to. I hate that shit. Yeah. What the fuck, man? Are you trying to gauge my response to everything? And
yeah, it just reeks of weakness.
I know.
Like, are you too chicken shit just to say what you mean? You just got to be like, is this an acceptable answer?
Yep.
No, I'm gonna be like, no.
Would you like to talk about this?
Yeah, especially when guys do it.
Yeah,
it's just so weak because, like, even if you're dead wrong, just say it like you know it. And that's what I hated.
Have somebody call you on your shit,
and that's what. Yeah, exactly.
And then punch them.
And the sad thing is everybody's so goddamn scared of their own shadow. They're not gonna call you out on their shit.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna sit there and maybe talk behind your back with other people about how you're full of shit. But God forbid are they gonna say anything to your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a bunch of chumps.
This guy's being loud.
Exactly.
I get that a lot though.
So here I got something totally out of left field, but I want to ask you this: name which one of is this the NBA or the NFL? I'm going to just read a list of things. You tell me which league it is: NBA or NFL.
NBA.
36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71 cannot get a credit card due to bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits. And 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year alone.
It's got to be NBA.
No, it's a trick question. It is the 535 members of the United States Congress.
Oh, nice. I was just looking at it because I was like, yeah, the NFL does like 3 assaults a week.
Yeah, that's a little low.
You know, it's got to be the NBA guys because they can never connect a punch. They would love to assault their wives, but they can duck.
Yeah. I just thought that I got that. I must have been on Facebook or something because one of my buddies texted it to me the other night, and I was just like, hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And the only red flag that I had to think it was kind of BS was the bankrupt 2 companies. I was like, how would NBA or NFL players bankrupt 2 companies? You know, they're usually used.
I kind of made up my mind and didn't really pay attention to too much after the 3 assaults because I was like, yeah, they're bitches.
You're like, it's the NBA.
Now that Rodman's out of the league, I think he got assault 3 times just for kicking a dude in the crotch. So
that was in Minnesota.
Nope.
That was hilarious. I remember I was watching that game live because I used to like basketball back then.
That was so stupid that he did
dumb. Did I tell you about that Mankato restaurant that got in trouble for their promotion about Adrian Peterson?
Yeah.
So it actually, there's a follow-up to it that I saw this weekend where the owner...
Did we talk about that on the air, or did...
I don't know. What would it...
Give him a synopsis of what happened.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty easy. It's Weggy's on Campus Bar and Grill in Mankato, Minnesota, and this Mankato's where the Vikings have their spring training practice. So one of the employees at the bar put on their Facebook page a couple weekends ago before the Vikings game, it's today's game day special. Wear your AP jersey in and you get to spank your server. See you soon! And of course, everybody freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
But what I wanted the follow up to was I like the employer. His name is Steve Wegman, the restaurant owner, I should say. He wouldn't let the employee said, "I'll take all the brunt for him. Let him, I'll come out and take the heat. You had nothing to do with it. I feel bad." And the dude's like, "No, this is my restaurant. This is what I do."
You do that.
Yeah, exactly. He actually took the noble route and took all the heat for it. But the best part is what he did is actually turn this whole situation into a positive, because he got affiliated with a local domestic abuse organization, like charity, and so now they're gonna have these a summit where they get together and do a little talk about domestic abuse at his restaurant, and kind of this whole thing where he's embracing the issue now and using his restaurant and getting involved with this organization to combat domestic abuse. I just thought that was kind of an interesting little take on how a business owner would take a terrible PR situation and actually be smart enough to pivot it and make it kind of
that motherfucker's good at marketing. I'll give him that.
Fucking A. I mean, that's pretty slick. I don't know. I thought I told you about that original story, so I was like, that's a little follow-up to it. But first off, that promotion is absolutely hilarious. A little too soon. But it's
that's not too soon. You got to jump while the iron's hot on that
one. And the thing is, it's a college campus restaurant run by college kids.
Yep.
Come on. They're playing to their demographic.
Yeah, exactly. And I bet you they got a lot of laughs and a lot of interest.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was in terrible taste, but I will sacrifice taste for humor all day. All day.
Yep.
Like AP. All day!
I still don't say a 4-year-old could do anything short of stabbing somebody that would make you want to fucking switch them like that until they bled.
Oh, I agree 100%.
My daddy did it to me. I do it to my boy. He gonna do it to his. You fucking hick bastard.
Yeah.
That's what you could come up with. You have all that money. You have a PR dude. You have a lawyer. You have a manager. You have all this shit. And that's what you keep. All those people told you to say that. They didn't tell you to say, it was something that I deeply regret doing. I understand from the reaction that it is wrong. I should not have done it, nor will I ever do it again.
Exactly.
Instead, your dumbass comes out and says that. My daddy done it to me.
And his mom came out and even like defended and said the exact same thing.
No.
That's how he was raised. That's how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
And even Charles Barkley with his stupid ass came out and said the exact same line.
Terrible how they're treating him. Terrible.
That's what he said, which is funny, is because he goes, "That's tradition."
My daddy threw me through windows. I threw others through windows. You fucking dipshit. You should never, ever come out in defense of somebody being like, nah, see, your anger just get the best of you, and all you see is red.
Yeah, exactly.
You fucking dick.
Well, the best part is what he said, that is the tradition in the South. I was just like, but excuse me, sir, do we want to uphold to every tradition that's been in the South?
So does Massa hit you too?
Yeah.
Or is it just like...
Hey...
Is it the house one? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense that people are okay with some traditions like that, even though they're just fucking brutal. But they're not okay with other traditions, even though they're fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And they won't let anything go on either one of them. And I'm saying this is white, black, everybody.
Doesn't matter.
Everybody does this shit.
Because people cling to their traditions.
Yeah.
And their rituals. I do it. Fucking A, I do it. I cling to my daily rituals. If something gets thrown off on some timing or something I do, it just, like, my day feels weird. Am I OCD?
That is a little odd.
Not in the aspect of, like, I can't function, but in the aspect of,
the only thing
that's
I
a
hate,
little weird.
The only thing I hate is I am kind of scheduled for shitting.
Yeah. If that gets interrupted?
But it's more or less like when I wake up.
Yeah.
And so on the days when I wake up and I gotta go right away, like leave right away, not go right away, but when I gotta leave right away, that throws off my whole day.
Like, I bet you've been relating to that lately since your whole schedule's been thrown
Oh,
off.
no, I always take a shit when I wake up.
Just instantly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been that way, too.
But, there's, like, tomorrow I plan on waking up at 5 o'clock if we gotta get on the road at 5:15. So I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get all my shit ready and take a shit. I might have to take a shit down in the city somewhere.
You might just have to get your shit ready before you go to bed.
No,
lay your clothes out.
That's just not gonna happen.
Why not? So you gotta pack a lunch and shit now? Like a fucking workman?
No.
You guys go to OT?
We did today. The other day we didn't.
So I suppose you don't work anywhere too remote.
No.
No, sorry, I just wanted to go digress on that. But,
I haven't gotten that fucking call from Alaska yet saying, hey, I know we're 2,800 miles from nowhere.
But, yeah, when you get the whole routine throw off, the one thing that fucking ruins my day, too, and it's fecally related, is I hate when I take a shower and then I have to shit.
Oh, yeah, that's bullshit.
That is just
They should make
terrible.
something for that.
And then you're just like, I get back in the shower. I really do.
They should make something for like something that clings to your buttocks, so like a little piece of plastic or something that goes in there, so that when you poop, it doesn't hit your butt.
It's called, you just use like a duvet, or is it a duvet? What is it, duvet?
I don't have one of those.
But that's what you need to get. They make ones that you can just like replace your toilet seat with and turn your regular toilet into like a Japanese toilet.
You're weird.
Just spray it up your butthole.
Duvet is not Japanese.
It's French, right?
Yes.
But the Japanese love them. And they're the ones that
I just like how you said
specialize in tiny electronics that do stuff with your butt.
Everything's so tiny. Oh, God. What other fucking race can we talk about?
I heard about this effed up story that I have to read you. It's a Rhode Island man was arrested 4 separate times in 30 hours for drunk driving. An unmatched criminal feat he accomplished while behind the wheel of 4 different vehicles,
wow.
No less. John Lorenzo, 53, was first arrested last Sunday afternoon when he crashed his Dodge pickup truck into an SUV carrying 2 children,
Wow.
both of whom were treated and released from a Providence hospital. Lorenzo's next 3 busts occurred in Cumberland, the town outside Providence where he resides. At 7:15 Monday morning, Lorenzo, driving a Chevy Malibu, rear-ended another vehicle. Lorenzo was subsequently arrested after his blood alcohol was measured at .22, nearly 3 times the legal limit. That is fucking whiskey. He was later given a court summons and released into the custody of his 79-year-old father. Around 11:15 a.m., a Cumberland cop spotted Lorenzo now behind the wheel of a 1970 Plymouth Barracuda, driving erratically. Lorenzo, a general contractor, like you, was pulled over and an officer determined he was intoxicated. Like you. You're intoxicated. No, I'm just kidding.
Guilty.
Yep. He was transported to the Landmark Medical Center, where he was released from police custody to the hospital. Lorenzo's fourth arrest occurred around 5 p.m. after he departed the hospital and got into a dump truck he owns.
What?
So he went from a Dodge pickup, a Chevy Malibu, a 1970 Plymouth Barracuda, and then to a dump truck. No wonder the dude got arrested 4 times for being drunk. He's like a rich dude on a fucking bender.
Yeah.
He must own like...
Where did he have to go to?
To get the dump truck? It's just parked outside the hospital.
No, I just gotta say this. Where did he have to... Like, he kept trying to go someplace. He kept getting picked up.
Yeah,
where the fuck was he going?
After the first time, wouldn't you be like, I'm just going to get wasted at home right now?
No doubt. Hey, Dad, can you pull by a liquor store quick? You know, because it said he was given to his dad's custody.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? What did he need? What was it that was drawing him to wherever he was going?
That's a great question. But I guess he evidently crashed the dump truck into a tree and a wall, doing heavy damage to all. Lorenzo sustained minor injuries and was transported back to the hospital for treatment of new injuries. Remarkably, Lorenzo was released on bail following each of the 4 arrests.
Even the last one?
Yes.
That guy's gonna do some time, though.
Yeah, he is. Rhode Island.
Unless he's got a
shit
hell of a lawyer.
I've always said they should just pave Rhode Island over and make it a parking lot for New Jersey.
It's the Florida of the North.
It is. The northeast Florida, sorry. Northwest Florida would be Seattle. No, I'm just kidding.
That's where they lived before they go to Florida.
Yes. Speaking of Florida, I got some fucked up Floridian news.
Ooh.
Check this out. A woman paid $20,000 to have a third boob implanted. And my favorite part is...
picture.
And my favorite part is the reason she did it is she wanted to be unattractive to men.
Give me a picture.
Right here. There's your photo. She's wearing a bikini, and both of them a tri-bikini. Would it be a bikini or a trikini? It'd be a trikini.
That is just...
It's like from Total Recall, right?
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. When I heard this story, I'm like, Total fucking Recall. But she spent $20,000 to get a third titty. And she actually got an areola tattooed on the third tit to make it look real or natural. How fucked up is that? And her best part is this can't be her real name. Her name is Jasmine Tridevil. It's got to be fake. She's got to be a stripper. You know she's going to be stripping. And
I was going to say, I just wonder how long it would make you or take you to get $20,000 back.
Was stripping? Probably 6 months, if that.
Damn.
You're a tri-titted stripper.
It's just so strange because I'm grossed out, but so intrigued. And it's not like you were just saying. I've seen him before because it was Total Recall.
Yeah.
But
I want to see him again.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
My favorite part is she is a massage therapist by trade, aka she jerks dudes off.
She's the only chick that could have like multiple tit jobs.
Dude, look at this though. They show 2 pictures on this website, and she has the exact same pose in both photos.
Yeah, she does.
Her fucking hand is the same way. Like everything. That is so creepy. I hate people that do that. That you like scroll through their fucking photos and it looks like they just superimpose the same photo with a different shirt on in every different location.
You know what I do to avoid that?
What?
Do not scroll through photos.
Fuck, that's how I always lose.
I don't use social media, though, so...
That is true.
It's a lot easier to not deal with that when you just don't do it.
Yeah, enjoy the Twitter. Because it limits
the
people.
Twitter.
It limits...
Who's old now?
Yeah, it limits the people to 140 characters, so I don't have to, like, read long diatribes of your fucking bullshit. Like,
it took me long enough to text.
That is true.
And I'm done with texting.
You're like, F that noise.
I can fucking get called by you. I can get text by you. I can Skype you.
FaceTime.
I am not going to Twitter you. Fuck you. Seriously, there is enough ways to contact me.
Yeah.
I am not going to use other means. I've now mastered the 3.
I just enjoy it because it keeps you in touch with, let's say, artists you like, musicians. And
I don't want to be in touch with them. I want to listen to their music, and that's that.
But I
don't want to know any of these fuckers.
I enjoy it when, like, Astronautilus will retweet one of my tweets or, reply to one of my tweets and shit like that. It's kind of nice because he's my favorite artist right now. And to have that connection where, like, it blew my mind when I was at his show at First Ave and I tweeted something and then he retweeted it, like, 5 minutes before he went on stage. Because I got the notification and then, like, a couple minutes later, boop, he's on stage. And I'm just like, this is awesome. It just, it's the littlest, simplest thing to him. But for being a fan, it was, like, huge and monumental. Like, I'm talking about it right now and it happened in fucking February. But
that's where we differ, though. I don't want to know anything about them. I don't want them to talk to me. I don't want to... No. I listen to your music. I don't care about you. You are just the mouth of which I hear the lyrics that I liked.
Yeah, but it's also nice to hear, like, get inside scoops of where he's going to be someplace randomly that'll pop up.
That's where it starts, though, Jake.
It does.
And then you got fucking TMZ everywhere and fucking Britney Spears shooting her head because...
shooting her head, shaving?
Shooting her head. I was going to say commit suicide because there's so many fucking paparazzi everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. And I have no idea what the fascination with the rest of the fucking country. They are people.
Well, yeah, I know.
They're going to be just as fucked up as everybody else. That's why you don't want to know. They are not better than you. Nobody is that fucking almighty. Everybody's got some stupid bullshit where that's their tick.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's, something like they scream at you for doing nothing but, hey, how's it going? Oh, fuck you, I get that all the time! Something like that. Or if their little tick is cocaine and porn stars like Charlie Sheen's. I mean, they've all got stupid little ticks. It just so happens that they seem to have more of them because they can afford more.
That is true.
And everybody would be as douchebaggery as they play if we could afford to be.
Yeah.
If I could wreck 4 cars in a day, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Just go on a bender of monumental proportions? That's an epic bender. He's just got to be loaded.
Everybody starts, especially, I get this a lot, where people do not believe that I have any kind of morals or any kind of scruples because of the fact I'm an atheist. And I look at it and I go, no. You want to see people that don't have morals or scruples? Rich people.
Yeah. Well, they've already have a name for it. Affluenza.
Yeah.
It's where you're too fucking rich to understand what's right and wrong. I'm sorry, our country took a wicked turn for the worse when we actually placated rich, spoiled cunts and gave them an out saying, oh, you had no choice in the matter. It's because our society favors the rich so much that now you literally have no consequences for your actions.
And that's why I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll continue saying it for a long time. that people need to be accountable for actions regardless of who the fuck they are.
Exactly.
I am so sick of hearing something in the news that's pushed aside, like, congressman gets a DUI.
Yeah.
That's the same congressman that was up there saying, we should lock the fuckers up.
That is true.
It's so hypocritical. Rush Limbaugh, the biggest drug user of all, because he's abusing prescription drugs.
And he's fraudulently used, like, has multiple names, has his goddamn maid go pick him up like a fucking drug mule.
So, I mean, you gotta look at it this way, and he's the one that's saying, lock them up and throw away the key, they're worthless human beings. Really? That happens all the damn time.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a fuck when it happens to these guys, because they come on and say, oh, I've learned my lesson. I am just a man too, even though you might think otherwise. Yeah, I don't think you're a man, so you're right. I do think otherwise.
Yep.
You're a man-child, because you're a fucking moron, and all you do is bark stupidity. We've had this discussion as well. Yeah. I have to believe they are really that stupid. I have to. Because if they are really spouting that kind of rhetoric, just to spout that kind of rhetoric, I believe they should be killed.
Oh, we got him on record, folks.
I'll say it again. I do believe somebody that actually spouts mantra like that, for no other reason except for causing chaos, panic, and fear, should be killed. In my eyes, that's almost treasonous. You are starting a problem where there is no problem. Is that not kind of a definition of treason? That you're going against the country that you represent because you're starting a problem with it.
Oh, yeah.
So if you look at it, somebody sitting there in a crowded building that yells fire, that's illegal. But even though we have the freedom of speech.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's harmful to the country, to the people, to the place, the business. So how is it not harmful for somebody to sit there and knowingly spout rhetoric?
Yeah, fear-mongering.
How is that not something like a treasonous thing? All you're trying to do is mass chaos and fear.
Yep, and that's terrorism.
So either you want to go terrorism, you want to go treason, you want to just say that it's against the safety, like you're saying when somebody yells fire?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I agree with you.
This douchebag that's just sitting there talking all this bullshit with no fucking proof to back it up, and if somebody does give him proof, he calls it liberal bullshit.
Because truth has a known liberal bias.
Yes, it does. It's called science. And fuck if they haven't been pulling that card out for thousands of years.
Yep. Oh, fuck you.
No. It's been millions of years. The Earth wasn't here that long. Yeah. So I will go on a rant about this any day, all day, every day. I'm just saying, that is absolute fucking bullshit. And that's all I gotta say, is that I have to believe that they are really that stupid. Because if they're not, how the fuck is that not illegal?
Yeah.
First Amendment be damned.
It is illegal. It should, by the case you laid out with, it's no different from being a fearmonger as a politician than yelling fire in a crowded theater. It crystallizes it. There's really no difference in it. They are one and the same.
All it's doing is mass chaos and fear.
Yeah, I've never heard it summed up like that. That was perfect summation.
I just really don't understand how one can't beget the other.
Yeah.
So if that's really what the case is, that it's not illegal, I have to say, they have to be that stupid.
The only reason it's illegal is because nobody's watching the watcher. Because you could yell fire in a crowded theater, and nobody
sees you.
And nobody freaks out, and nobody gives a fuck. You just did it and got away with it. So there's nothing different than that, except for, unfortunately, we let them get away with it. We don't hold them responsible either legally or in the next election. We elect the same assholes in every time, and we expect a different result. It's just kind of fucking asinine.
Einstein's theory of insanity.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah, a lot of those guys do it. And I'm just using Rush Limbaugh as an example.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Rush. I don't hate you more or less than others.
Probably a little bit.
A little bit, but there's a couple other people that I hate up to his level as well. So I'm just saying, don't get a big head.
Yeah.
You're not my number one hate. That'll be another day. But let it be known, Rush, you're in my top 5.
That's so funny is because my very first memory...
Your fucking name is Rush. You
Yeah.
should be in everybody's top 5.
My very first memory of Rush Limbaugh was when I was probably 9 or 10. Me and my dad and my brother used to go...
He was eating a potato, and I went, wow, that's cannibalism.
and we would always go to this restaurant downtown St. Cloud called Alvy's Family Restaurant.
Yep, I remember.
And they used to have Rush Limbaugh listening parties.
What?
There's a giant banner up that said, come listen to Rush Limbaugh at this time every day. And I guess they got all the old folks, the old white guys that were retired, come in, have their coffee, listen to Rush, and then go ranting about the liberals.
The guys that were sitting there going, God damn right, those young people suck.
Exactly. So I just remember being a young tyke like that, reading the banner, and I'm like, who's Rush Limbaugh? And I remember my dad going, just some right-wing blowhard. Oh, he is so full of crap. I don't even know how these people can listen to it. And I'm just like this 10-year-old kid. My dad just spewing this fucking political rhetoric at me, saying about him. Who's better here? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just gonna say it though. It's a different story of saying that somebody calls a dick a dick.
Yeah.
Rather than somebody calling a dick something. Well, back then we used to call it a willy.
Yeah.
No, it's a dick, man. Just like you. You're a fucking dick. And you know you're a dick.
That's what you make your money on.
Exactly. Don't give me that shit. But that's why I, once again, have to say, I would get extremely mad if they were knowingly doing this and getting away with it. Because to me, once again, the First Amendment rights, if you're going to lay them out in the way that you've already laid them out, what you can do is not cause harm. Yeah. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, as long as it doesn't fuck with somebody else's rights or pursuit of happiness.
Exactly.
So, in that same argument, how the hell can you knowingly tell somebody, you're gonna die? Or like he does all the time. Well, ISIS is gonna come and fucking kill us, so we need to go and kill them.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Tell me why we need to, not just tell me we need to.
And who is this ISIS that you keep referring to?
Yeah.
Sounds to me like they're the ones we've been funding, like Al-Qaeda.
Or ISIL, or IS.
Right there, that brings me to another great point. Right there, how they have 3 to 4 different fucking names for them, you know it's a bullshit organization because they're saying it all different ways to confuse the fucking public. So they don't know what they're supporting at this point.
You know, at this point, it almost kind of seems like the Middle East is even in on it. Because all of a sudden, people that used to hate us, like Iran and Syria and all these... No, we're with you, my friend.
Well,
you're like, what?
Yeah, definitely not Syria right now, but because we're going to use the rebels to take over that fucker.
But they even come out and said that, well, we're in contact with them and we know about the strikes happening and we okay them to happen. And so, yeah, Syria. They're okay with this shit. They've said that. They've actually come out and said, yes, we've known that the strikes were coming.
Yeah, but he's a poor son of a bitch.
I understand that basically the communication was, dude, this is a formality. Mm-hmm. I could give a fuck less what you say. In fact, I want to hear a yes or one more bomb may drop. That's probably what they got. Yeah. So they came out saying, oh, yes, we know about it.
Oh, and you know what?
2 thumbs up.
I truly think Obama deserves another peace prize, considering this is the 7th country he has bombed in 6 fucking years. Yeah. Where's his fucking peace prize again?
Well, I'm not saying that all of these require his signature, but I think I heard somewhere along the lines of under his expert tutelage.
Yes. His leadership. This is his leadership.
I will say that.
He's commander-in-chief.
Yeah. Under his leadership, there's been like 5,800 Americans that have died. And like 20,000 some that have been irreparably wounded.
Yeah.
Like lost limb or something. But there has been close to 30,000 people that have just been wounded.
That's insane.
Yes.
That's like a small town.
Exactly.
Not even a small town. That's like a mid-sized
Yeah.
town.
In this whole thing, 6,000 people dead, 20,000 people completely wounded, 30,000 people walking home wounded.
And how many, and everybody else psychologically fucked.
And I bet, there's still 30,000 out there that they don't even report it just because they're fucking soldiers.
And 100% of them are psychologically fucked.
Oh.
Every single one of them that went over there. They're fucked.
I can only imagine because, the way that I kind of look at it, and I hope I'm wrong in this scenario, but it's kind of like the summer camp thing. Nobody wants to go to summer camp. Then you go to summer camp. And after a couple of days at summer camp, you're like, oh my god, summer camp is the coolest thing ever. The life that I used to lead is over. Because it's summer camp!
Exactly.
And then...
This bitch doesn't know I'm a dork.
Yeah.
And I'm going to finger her this summer.
A month later, you come back home and nothing's the same.
Exactly.
But the difference is, things that aren't necessarily okay at home are okay at summer camp because, kids will be kids, it's summer camp. So
you can't go on panty raids at home.
I'm not saying that this is a good way of saying this. I'm just saying it kind of goes the same way if you look back in history, when you have a lot of guys around each other that have a lot of killing that they've done or continue to do, they tend to lead down this path of kind of a god complex deal where they really like that whole decision of who lives, who dies now. And I'm not saying that it happens all the time. It happens to every army as well.
Yeah.
It's just testosterone being testosterone. You don't have a woman around you for months on end, and all you're doing is killing people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm betting your testosterone level is going to be up there of a bull shark's. You know what I mean? Now, let's just say you're sitting in a comfortable place and you just had sex with somebody, your testosterone levels are probably going to drop.
Yes.
So, in this highly volatile situation where you don't have the actual, uppers controlling the situation, you're goddamn right, those guys are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's not such a cool thing when you're looking at it in the aspect, like I said, there's probably a shitload of things that hadn't been reported, because if it was reported, they'd been like, well, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Ooh, be damned if we weren't playing a game of who could shoot who in the foot. Needless to say, I lost twice.
Yeah.
Like...
now I can do the rock and roll thing with my feet.
I'm just saying, you've got to know there's got to be some stupid shit that happened just because of that. Of being in a place where they didn't think they should have been.
Yeah.
And being in that mind frame of, we are so above this. Mm-hmm. We're the #1 army in the world, and we're fighting people that are in 1960s tanks from Russia. We have guns that can pierce that armor now. Like, guns that we shoot.
Yeah.
Not guns that come in on our tanks, because that's amazing. We can shoot them before they can even see us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't even hear the shell and they're already dead. So... you got that kind of a god superiority complex coming into it and nothing but testosterone filled, you're not in your right head anyway. And we, as the people of the United States, failed our army because we failed to rein in the leash of actually saying, this is who leads our army.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to do this until there's actually what you like to claim.
Come the revolution.